You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius-Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius-Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Deanie. We have another special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that, and as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say one more effort. When you feel like giving up, it's a very good sign that you are truly making progress. So by all means, keep going. Eventually, you're going to reach the point where just one more attempt, one more effort will bring real success. What a shame if it would be to give up just as you reach that point. You do not know what the next effort will bring because the future is not based on the past. That feeling of wanting to give up is based solely on the past, which really doesn't matter anymore because it already passed. What matters now is where you're headed and not where you've been. And when you view it from that perspective, giving up is simply not an option. Success is always achieved after one last effort, and you're working your way towards that point. You may very well already be there, so ready to make that very effort. So keep going, keep making the effort, no matter what has happened before. Somewhere up ahead is that one more effort, the one that will take you all the way to where you want to be. Take that from me, Coach Deanie. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's another captivating episode of VRL. Today we have the honor of hosting an extraordinary poet and author whose work beautifully captures the essence of human emotions. She's a master of rhythm and emotion, drawing inspiration from the timeless works of Shakespeare. So please join me in welcoming the incredibly talented Lashandia Tynise Billingsley. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm excited that you're here with us on the show. How are you?
Fantastic. How about yourself? I'm excited to be here.
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Yes,
My pleasure.
For sure. All right. For those who may not know you yet, can you share a little bit about yourself and how you embarked on a journey as a poet and author and writer?
Well, I had a very, very, I would say, unpleasant childhood, but I had to find a way to cope with that. My family comes back from from the South, and small family. We didn't come from a big upbringing, so I had to find an outlet to deal with all the stuff that I had been through as a child. And as a result of that, I got into writing. I didn't want to resort to drugs. I didn't want to resort to alcohol. I had to just find a way of doing it. So everything for me was self-taught. It came from the heart. And just the way that I visualize things. And that's how I got it. And I did my research. As a child in school, we would get essays, like things to, your writing assignments, and every day we had to keep going. So I remember my papers would always be the one of choice to be read, and I remember being embarrassed because I didn't know that they were going to pick me. So they're like, oh, who wrote that? And then they pointed to me, and it's like, well, and they would question me about my work, and I would, pretty much give them the scoop of things of why I wrote it. But everything that I do comes from within, from the heart, and how I visualize and see things. I'm a helpless romantic, even though things have never really worked out. But I'm not saying that I don't believe in love, but this is just how I see things. And I always been attracted to the arts, so William Shakespeare has always been that for me. Growing up, we would go see plays and stuff that was artsy, so for me that was just my niche, and I just went with it, and I just never gave up on it. I had to just make that work for me. I lost my mom when I was a year old. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandmother was a very religious person, so this was not really her choice for me. She didn't think that it was a priority, but I did, because I had to find a way to cope with all the things that I've gone through in my past, and I just stuck with it. And then, that's how I got started in my writing, and just going on from there,
Absolutely. Wow. Sounds like quite an adventure. Have you written a book on this?
Yeah, I have a book that was published back in 2011. It's called Through the Eyes of Shakespeare. And I, as a kid, I always said, this is one of my goals that I want to do. And I love poetry. I love sonnets. I love rap. Rap is poetry. And even though it was never encouraged, and my grandparents were very religious, when my grandmother was never really around because she was working and doing her stuff, that's when I took advantage of listening to the music that I like to listen to, and just venture out and other things. And I love rap music. I grew up in the 90s, and when Bone Thugs, Tupac, which are my favorite rap artists, and my Poet Kings, I just went with that. And then, I would put on my headphones and just listen. And then my grandmother, when she come home from work, she'll be like, "What are you doing, Lashandia? What are you listening to?" "Oh, just," and I'm bop, to the rhythm. But then I had to kind of play it off without making it obvious. But that was my thing. And then I would just go at a point where I was just feeling down and dealing with things within the home. I would go off and write, or I would go to school and do it, or when I couldn't sleep, just a downtime to find a peace of mind. And then as I got older, I just kept going with it. And then I went to film school because I wanted to learn how to get into film writing and script writing and stuff like that. So I went to the International Academy of Television and Filmmaking out here in Las Vegas. And I took the not the acting course, but the film directing course, and I finished with all the challenges I was facing. I was married at the time. I was a mom of one, and my spouse wasn't not supportive. So despite dealing with that and me working and taking just the normal things, I never gave up. And my instructors would tell me, you have a gift, because I got interviewed before going to film school, and I was able to get a scholarship. And then they would ask me to speak and share with the class similarities to writing film and writing a book, because books become film and the process it went through. And I had to really do my research. And one thing about being raised by your grandparents, you learn that old school stuff. So hitting those books, studying. You didn't spend time just watching TV. You educated yourself, and that's what I enjoy doing. So I looked up poets. I looked up just different things that I was interested in, and I just kept going with that. And sometimes when you're writing, it's like you're writing. It's like a song, music, and like sometimes I just fumble with it and see what I can do in aspects with that. When I was in film school, I remember my script writing teacher telling me that, you're wasting your time writing about things you don't understand. I'm like, well, a lot of people write about things like fiction. I love fiction. And I'm into vampire flicks and stuff like that. We all have our thing, but I write about other stuff. So when I look at Tyler Perry, in a lot of his stuff, there's poetry inserted in that. When I look at when you have like the Dead Poet Society movie with Robin Williams, poetry in that. So you can do all creative things with poetry, and poetry is one of the most forgotten languages out there. You have your spoken word traditionally, but a lot of people are more in tune with doing other things with it. You can do wedding vows, you can do music with it and other things. So that's one of my things that I love about that, and I just play around with it. And my goal is to just use my talent to utilize it to benefit my family and to share. I have a daughter who, she's not into that. She's more into freelance drawing and stuff like that. And she has a creative spark, but she really does other things, and that's her life. But I just try to focus on letting people know that are going through things that you have to find another way of handling things. And I'm not judging anyone, because we all handle pain differently. But if you can find a positive outlet into doing the things that can help you divert away from doing certain things like drugs and alcohol. Because, I went to counseling with all the stuff that I've been through within my life, and they're like, one of these days you're going to snap. And last year, back in August, I had like a lot of things going on. It was like a tower moment, but I just had to pull myself up. I'm like, you got to keep going. Don't let nothing drag you down. Just pray to God, keep going. And that's what I did. And just write, create. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what's helped me sustain myself to keep going and dealing with things and knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you keep pursuing what you want to do, your mind has no time to be wasting on the negative. You push past those boundaries, because journeys of life can either kill you or make you stronger. It's your choice to decide what path that you want to take. And I choose life over death, so that's just how I deal with it. I wrote a piece in my book when my grandmother passed away back in 2010. I didn't know what I was going to do at that time, but the words just came to me, and I wrote it and read it the same day as the funeral. It's called A Moment of Peace, and I did well up and towards the end when my voice cracked a little bit because I was holding back tears. But I'm just thankful that through everything that I've gone through, that I'm still maintaining. I've been through hell and back, and I'm still standing at 43 years old, and I'm just happy to be here and to express my love and passion for the arts, which I encourage others to do as well. Because, you know, life is too short. We got to keep going and make the best of it.
Absolutely. You're right about that. The Woman Within is a powerful piece. How do you challenge your personal experiences into your poetry? And what message do you aim to convey through this particular poem?
The Woman Within. I was at work one day, and when I had time, I would just pull out a pen and paper and just write. And the title just came to me, and the next thing you know, I'm writing a word, and I wanted to share it with my boss and coworkers. And I was new to the company, so I was a little nervous about handling it, but I did. And I shared it with her, and she called me into the office, and I thought I did something horrific. And she's like, well, how did you know? I never told you. I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, how did you know that I had cancer, breast cancer? I'm like, I really apologize to you, but I didn't know something within me. I didn't explain this to her, but this is the visual, that something came to me, and I put, and for some reason, that's what was forth. But the Woman Within, and I explained her the interpretation after I read it, because this poem basically says that whatever you're going through as a woman, you're still beautiful in each and every way, whether you have a sickness, deformity, whatever, you're still a woman. We go through and if you don't mind, I'll read that piece aloud.
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay, The Woman Within. The woman within is a curving sea that sheds vibrancy and youth, shining radiance and glee of the ocean's blue, and hidden crystals of the night that shine eloquently so bright as pearls hidden in time's mist. O mother of pearls sparking flares, the woman within is sacred and pure, beautiful, nurturing, strong, and powerful in form, from her soul's depth in her bone and marrow. The woman within is a treasure, matchless by any material possession that mortals can offer her. She flaunts her soul so graciously, with silent confidence at her soul's core. The woman within, gracious and pure, never reveals her true form to unwanting eyes. She holds her head up high, rare as an interchangeable jewel of the Nile. O peerless woman within. So, yeah, that poem basically says whatever you're going through, you're beautiful in every way. Don't let anyone ever tell you that. And as for me, I see it because I've gone through challenges in my life that, as was outlined in your opening of the show, that you never give up no matter what. And because you are who you are as a person, a woman, you have to keep going. You're beautiful. Don't let anyone ever tell you that. You're strong. And a lot of women that have gone through things, they have low self-esteem about themselves. They're told that they can't accomplish anything. They're looked down on. Trophies, you're this, you're that. But you're not. You're beautiful. God created us to be who we are, and we're deserving of respect and dignity, and that's how we should carry ourselves.
Absolutely. Before we part, we have a tradition called the hot seat, and we let our guests perform for us, whether that's, rapping, singing, poetry, spoken word, telling a joke, telling a story from their life, or playing an instrument, or just giving advice, or doing nothing at all. That's cool as well. Would you like to participate?
Yes.
Hey, we are ready when you are.
Okay, I'm working on a second book. It's called Angelic Memoirs. It's my second book of poems. And I'm gonna read one piece. And this piece people keep asking me for and they get mad because I will not share it with them. And it's called Beautiful Sinner. Beautiful sinner, flamboyant you are, as the transcending currents of the Nile. Your beauty and grace betrays the greatest of secrets one mind can perceive. Your soul boldly professed, she flaunts the appearance of an angel in disguise, whose soul declares I'm a beautiful sinner, who embarks with no shame, disgrace, or dishonor. Beautiful sinner, you rise, yet fall like a shooting star. You remain without regret, a beautiful sinner.
I love it. So, looking ahead, what future projects or themes are you excited to explore in your writing?
Well, I'm working on my second book, too. I'm trying to put together a project that I did in film school, and I have to keep I was reminded constantly that you're not writing a full feature film. This is a student project. It's called A Vampire in Vegas. And I'm trying to put that together, which is taking time. With things, it does take time. I'm looking to work with great talent on this project if they're interested. I'm always open to working with other artists, input, especially if they're going to be featured in something that I'm writing, because I feel like you're giving the other person a chance to put their input to it. You know, two heads are better than one. And just really putting more content out there as far as that. And then I have another one. I can't reveal the title right now, but it's one thing at a time. So books, film, and a children's book. So entitled Prince Henry. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. But Rome wasn't built in a day, but you work towards your goal. So we'll see what happens.
You're right about that. All right, guys, what an incredible conversation we had with Lashandia, and we dived into her unique fusion of modern poetry with Shakespearean inspiration, her personal journey, and the profound messages within her work. So a huge thank you to our special guest tonight for sharing her story and her poetry with us. Be sure to check out her book, Through the Eyes of Shakespeare, as we will include a link in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you stopping by to chat with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to being on in the future. You have a blessed night.
You too. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, long time? I forgot to mention that, by the way, this is Deanie, Vigilantes Radio Live. VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. onlyonetheory.com. Check that out too. Peace. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website,
which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius-Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Denny, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Michael Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal. This award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.